Hi guys, it's your girl B Michelle coming at you with another Dollar Tree DIY. So with this project, you want to first start out with some mirrors. These are the square mirrors that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I actually deleted the part, the video with me putting the mirrors together, but basically I'm just showing you how I did it. I took 3 mirrors and I laid them out, one on top of the other. I used some craft sticks, and these are the white craft sticks. I used some fix all glue as well as hot glue, and I laid them out. I put the sticks on the backs of the mirror, and I also took, this is one of the pieces that came out of the 8x10 picture frames from a previous project with the that I did the display case. So I kept all of those things, because you never know when you're going to need little scraps for whatever project. Or you can use a foam board for this part. You don't have to do all of these steps if you don't want to. You can just use a foam board. So basically I just laid out the craft sticks and put a layer of the cardboard, put some more craft sticks, and another layer of the cardboard. Or just make it simple, use a foam board. So basically that's all I did to connect those mirrors. So you want to use 3 of these garden fences. I only showed 2 in the video, but I actually used 3. And I'm basically cutting off the 2 ends. I'm going to leave the two middle pieces connected together. So I'm cutting off the 2 ends. And I'm using these, you can get these in the garden section of the Dollar Tree, these little scissors. I don't know exactly what they're called, but you can use them in the, you can get them in the garden section. Or if you have like a hot knife or a salt, I don't know, a little hot tool that you can use to kind of melt down in between the plastic, you can use those. Whatever method you know that's going to be easy for you to cut into this piece. So this is what I use, and basically I just cut it down on the ends. And also you want to cut these, the parts where it connects, you want to cut that part off too. And yeah, they do shoot across the room. So, so I cut those off, and I also took 2 of them and I cut the sides of the piece off where you just have like the little circle, the little loops, and the little diamond shape at the top. And I'm also cutting off the top layer, the top half circle of this little piece, and I'm only doing this to 2, so the rest of them you want to keep intact. I'm only doing 2 of these, so you should have 2 of those, and you want to save those loops that you just cut off as well, because I'm going to use those also. So basically I'm taking the 2 pieces and I'm putting them where the diamond piece can be. They're going separate directions, and I'm joining them together just like this, and I'm going to take some hot glue and just adhere those 2 pieces together. Just want to hold it in place until it dries, and you also want to turn it over, and any grooves that you can place some hot glue to make sure that it's adhered together, you want to do that. Go ahead and apply some hot glue. So also for the other 2 pieces, these are the 2 pieces, the middle pieces that I left connected together. I cut the tips off. You don't necessarily have to do that. For whatever reason, I cut them off, but you don't have to cut the tips off, but I did. If you want to cut them off, just a little bit, not a whole lot. And I took a craft stick. I think I probably cut them off because the way I'm placing the craft sticks. But anyway, you take a craft stick, and I just put the glue on the craft stick, and I'm just going to place these in opposite directions. Place a little bit on the craft stick on one of the pieces, and take the other piece and join them together, but I left a space in between. I'm leaving a gap there because I'm going to put those 2 little pieces that I just glued together. I'm going to put that in the center. So you want to take a craft stick, and these are the popsicle craft sticks on this part. You want to cut a little portion out, just enough for it to fit into the space that you left. When you join those other 2 pieces together, you want to leave a little bit of space, and you want to cut a craft stick to fit into that space that you left. And you want to glue that on the back side, just like you saw on the picture here. You want to glue that down. And this is how I joined everything together. And you just want to place something on it to add extra weight. I took the other two end pieces. Now, the little piece, that's the part that's supposed to go down into the ground, you can cut that off if you want to, if you don't want that to be seen. That part didn't matter to me because I'm actually going to join it together, and there's another way you can cover it up if you don't want it to be seen at all. But I'm basically taking these other two end pieces, and I'm taking the wide craft sticks. These are not the popsicle craft sticks, but the wider craft sticks. And I'm joining these two pieces together just enough for the craft stick to fit in there perfectly. Now the two craft sticks on the ends are going to fit in there just right. And that's the length that you want to have, the distance that you want to have between the two pieces. Just enough for the craft stick to fit in there perfectly where the loop is. You want to put it on the edge where it fits in there where the loop part is. And you want to do that on both ends. But you also want to take the middle craft stick and, well, you see it here. I'll explain the middle craft stick in just a second. And you just want to apply some pressure to make sure that it dries. So for the middle craft stick, you want to trim off the little round edge just a little bit because you want it to fit in there. See where the loop part is a little bit more space, but on the other part in the middle, it's not going to be as much space because you don't have the loop there. So you just want to trim off just a little bit of the craft stick so it can still fit in there. And just add some hot glue and just fit it down in the middle. So it should look like this. And then for those two ends, if you decide you want to keep yours on there, I just took some hot glue and I just placed some hot glue up underneath one of them. And the one that's on top, I just put the hot glue up underneath and joined the two pieces together. So a mirror should fit in there perfectly. And for the mirror, it's better to take the paper off, but sometimes they peel off really easy and sometimes they don't. So I had a hard time peeling it off, so I just said, okay, well, whatever. I just went ahead and left it, and I took some of the Fix All, and I'm just going down the craft sticks with a layer of the Fix All. And I'm following up with a layer of the hot glue on the side of the layer of the Fix All. Not directly on top of the Fix All, but I put a thin layer of hot glue directly, like stripes, on the side of the Fix All that I laid down. And just place the mirror directly onto the craft sticks. And you apply some pressure to make sure that the mirror is adhered. And it should look like this. There will be a little bit of space. So these are the pieces that you cut off, the little round pieces you cut off of the other two pieces that were joined together. So I'm actually connecting this with the center piece. And basically you just want to flip the piece over, and where the diamond tips are, you're going to hot glue the tips of the little circle, the half circle. Just put a generous amount of hot glue to fill the diamond tip. And you want to, I also put a little bit in the loop of the other part where I felt like it was going to touch. And I just placed it on there and applied pressure to adhere it down. And also with these pieces, before you apply that mirror, if you want to go ahead and paint yours, if you want to paint your project, you may want to go ahead and do that before you apply the mirror, or you can just put some painter's tape on the mirror and paint it. So it should look something like this. So I did this on both sides. You just want to make sure that that glue dries, so it should look like this. Now is the time to paint. If you want to go ahead and paint. So I was just trying to lay out the design to see how I wanted to have it. So I also, I'm always thinking of how I want to do these projects. I never really have a solid idea in mind. Most of the time I don't. And I'm kind of thinking as I go. So I was just trying to decide on how I wanted to continue with this project. So I decided to go ahead and place another mirror on top and put it in a diamond shaped pattern where it'll look like the pieces are connected. But I didn't actually join all the pieces together. You'll see that in the end. So I'm taking some of the Fix-All as well as the hot glue, and I'm laying it on 1/2 of the mirror. So on the tip, because I'm going to lay this out in a diamond shape, and the 2 center diamond shapes tips. So basically just leaving 1 tip unglued. And then I'm going to follow up with the hot glue. And for placement, you just want to use the mirrors, the 3 mirrors that's side by side. You want to use that as a guide. You just want to make the diamond shape line up with the outer edge of the mirror. So those points are lined up with the outer edge of the mirror to make that diamond shape. So it should look like this. So next I'm painting my project, and like I said, if you wanted to go ahead and do this before you lay the mirrors on the previous part, you can go ahead and paint it. But I'm using this Waverly, I think it's called Waverly. Yeah, Waverly chalk paint. You can spray paint it whatever color you desire to paint it. You can do that. And this is where it can actually kind of have the farmhouse feel to it, depending on how you paint it. If you want to have more like a distressed look to it, to have that farmhouse look, you can do that. And it actually does have the farmhouse kind of look to it to me once I finish painting it. But I also went over it with some Mod Podge in the end. And this was a messy way to paint it because I didn't want to go outside and spray paint it. It was nighttime when I was doing this part, so I just used that paint that I had there. And I didn't have any other small, well, I do have small paint brushes. I just didn't really want to look for them at the time. So I just used this paintbrush that I already had in front of me, and I just went over it and painted the piece using the chalk paint. So once the paint dries, I added some Mod Podge and glitter together. You can get the Mod Podge from the Dollar Tree in this size, and the glitter I got from Walmart, but you can get glitter from the Dollar Tree as well. Just want to stir them together. Depending on the consistency of how you want it. If you want it more glitter, add more glitter. If you want less glitter, just add less. And you just want to use a brush. I prefer to use a foam brush, but I didn't have one. So I used this paint brush that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to apply the Mod Podge and glitter mixture. So you just want to spread this out all over the piece and let it dry. So next I use some command strips, and you just want to get the weight, whatever appropriate size weight. I use the 16-pound ones, and I put 3 on the mirror piece where the 4 mirrors are combined, and I just put 1 on the other pieces. So here I'm just showing you how you can flip your piece on either side. If you want the other piece to show, you can do that. If you don't want the other piece to show, just flip it around. So this is the final look, you guys. I think it came out pretty nice. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your time. I know your time is valuable and precious. Thank you for all of my subscribers. Thank you to all of my viewers. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, if you like what you see here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that I upload. And again, thank you all for watching. And until next time, bye.